Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, December the 10th, 2014. Senior officials in Jerusalem said today that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will fly to Rome on Monday to meet with U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. In what is being called by the media as an emergency meeting, the two leaders are meant to discuss the upcoming United Nations Security Council vote on the Palestinian proposal to set a final deadline for Israeli withdrawal to pre-1967 borders. It is expected that the U.S. would veto the resolution, as it has done in the past with similar unilateral actions by the Palestinians. An Israeli pathologist will join Jordanian pathologists in an autopsy to be conducted on Palestinian cabinet member Ziad Abu Ain to examine the circumstances that led to his death. The IDF said that Israeli and Palestinian officials had agreed to the joint autopsy, and the IDF also said they proposed that the Palestinians and Israel partner on a joint probe of the incident. As you may have seen on IBA News, 55-year-old Abu Ain, who led the Palestinian Authority agency that lobbies against the security barrier and the settlements, died today after being involved in clashes with IDF troops in the West Bank. Palestinian officials claim the minister died after being struck in the chest by an IDF soldier during the protests. The IDF said initially they believed Abu Ain suffered a heart attack during the clashes and is investigating the incident. Abu Ain also reportedly suffered from diabetes. He collapsed at the protest and was reportedly treated on site by an IDF medic and then taken to the hospital but died en route. Palestinian officials blame Israel for the death. Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas called it barbaric and said that the PA would take the necessary steps once an investigation into the circumstances of Abu Ain's death were completed. PA Foreign Minister Riyad al-Maliki said Israel would, quote, pay for the killing of Abu Ain. And PA official Jibril Rajoub said the PA would halt all security coordination with Israel following Abu Ain's death. Islamic Jihad officials called for renewed armed resistance against Israel. Calls for an immediate and independent investigation into the incident were heard from UN Middle East envoy Robert Seri and from new European Union Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini. Abu Ain was a member of Fatah's Revolutionary Council. He was extradited from the U.S. to Israel in 1981 for a terrorist bombing in 1979 that killed 2 Israeli teens. In 1985, he was released during a prisoner's exchange with the IDF. The Jerusalem Post reports that former Israeli Justice Minister and Hatnu'ah party leader Tzipi Livni and Labor Party head Isaac Herzog were expected to announce a unity deal between their parties at a press conference tonight in Tel Aviv. Livni was fired by Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu last week, along with Finance Minister Yair Lapid, and the Knesset was dissolved. Early elections are set to take place in Israel on March 17th. American fugitive Adam Everett Livix is denying the charges made against him by Israel. The 30-year-old native of Illinois was charged with possessing weapons that Israel says he planned to use to attack holy Islamic sites in the country. Livix's lawyer Gal Wolf said today that Livix underwent, quote, extended interrogations by Israeli security services and that he categorically denies the charges in the indictment, calling it nonsense. Livix is wanted by the U.S. for questioning on drug-related charges. Israeli authorities are reportedly working with the FBI on this current case. British Prime Minister David Cameron visited Auschwitz today, where he honored victims of the Holocaust. Cameron was in Poland after visiting Turkey and decided to visit the former death camp, which is now a museum. He wrote in the Auschwitz Memorial Book, "I wanted to come and see for myself this place where the darkest chapter of human history happened. We must never forget," he wrote, "all those who were murdered here and at other camps. We must always remember what happened." Police in France have arrested several people whom they say are connected to their ongoing investigation of the deadly shooting this past May at the Jewish Museum in Belgium, which left 4 people dead, including an Israeli couple. The suspected shooter, Mehdi Nemouche, was arrested at a Marseille bus station shortly after the attack. French police yesterday said they have detained 4 other people, 3 men and a woman, also in Marseille. No further information about their specific involvement in the Brussels shooting was available. And turning now to our programming for tonight, Wednesday, December the 10th. Coming up at 9 tonight on L'Chaim, Mark Golub sits down with writer, author, and former 60 Minutes producer Abigail Pogrebin, who talks about her career and her own Jewish journey. That's tonight on JBS and jbstv.org. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, December the 10th, 2014. I'm Teisha Bader.